Hey guys, what's going on? It's Luke back again. Mega Luke Gaming here, and we have our account Mega Luke. We're climbing the ranks. We're almost out of gold. We're heading up into diamond, so we are definitely climbing pretty quick here. I'm getting 10 wins most of the time, and I just thought I would share with you a couple screenshots of how I was able to get these 10 wins with these boards. Maybe I could explain why it works. So in this build, I actually ended up trying shot glasses. Shot glasses is one of these items from the new Vanessa expansion, and it says 3-second cooldown, slow all of your items for 1 second, and then also haste all of your items for 1 second. So what that does is it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triggers of slow and 5 triggers of haste. So that's 10 triggers, which means the Dualtron, which obviously it has a very, very high cooldown. Maybe I can pull it up really quick here. The Dualtron. So if you go to this website here, it's one of my favorite websites. This is howbazaar.gg/items, anyway, the items tab. And if you look up Dualtron, so Dualtron says obviously cooldown's really large, and it only shows up at gold, and then again at diamond. So gold is 1,000, diamond is 2,000 damage. And it says whenever you haste, slow, poison, freeze, or burn, charge this a second or 2 seconds at diamond. I actually didn't even realize that it charges twice as fast at diamond. That is insanely quick. And then also whenever you use a friend, you shield 50, or at diamond you shield 100. So now obviously since I have the diamond one, it does 2,000 damage. But obviously since I have the robotic factory, it gives all my friends multicast, right? So the robotic factory gives all your friends multicast, +1 multicast, and then the only thing it does better at diamond is it gives you a little bit of extra crit chance on your friend items, which is really good, obviously. So right now, our Dualtron is hitting for 2,000 times 2, so that's 4,000, and it has 20% crit. But on top of that 20% crit, that's not enough. We have some crit skills, so I'm trying to get all the crit up. So you can even look up skills here. If you wanted to look up, could you look up crit skills and then maybe you just get a bunch of crit skills? I think that's actually how this works. Let's see if I can find the one that I have exactly. Wow, there's a lot of crit skills. So I have this one, Keen Eye. So all of my items had 16% crit chance, because again, that was a diamond one. So I had 16% crit chance there. Then I also had left eye or something, or right eye, I think. I think this is actually, what eyeball is that? Yeah, it's the other eye. It's right eye. So I had right eye, so my rightmost item had, I believe, if it's gold, I had an extra 24% crit chance here, 16% crit chance here, so that's 40%, and then plus this 20% here. This had 60% crit chance, but on top of that, 60% crit chance is not enough. Doing 4,000 damage, not enough. We also had the diamond slow crit thing. So where is this it? Yeah, slowed targets. So whenever you slow, your items gain, I believe I had the diamond one, 3% crit chance whenever we slow. Now remember this shot glasses, it's slowing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have 5. It slows itself as well. 5 items. Let me look up the shot glasses for you so we can go over it. So yeah, it just it does have ammo, so that's the only thing that's a little bit tricky about it. I only got 3 ammo on this thing, but it's good enough to get things started because of the cooldown of 3 seconds. Sometimes with this setup, I don't really have a lot of cooldown reduction. This is the big weakness of running Dualtron plus the robotic factory, is you're not able to run Bulldozer, and Bulldozer gives you that sweet cooldown reduction. There's other ways to get the build off faster. Like for an example, why am I looking at glass? I actually started with a Chimera one time. Chimera is a really good way to get your board started quickly. Bulldozer is a really good way to get your board started quickly because it gives your other friends 30% cooldown reduction, which obviously is really imperative to getting the board started, but also having it reset really, really fast. So anyways, the big weakness of this board was that we were a little bit slow to start. It takes about 6 seconds for these bugs to go off for the first time, and then from there, they kind of go infinite and charge each other up. But yeah, it's very important to get the crit chance, and yeah, because if this thing crits, not only is it doing 2,000 damage times 2, which is 4,000, it's doing 8,000 damage if it crits. Now, look at my life total. It's only 9,070. Most people's life totals are going to die to, like, one of these hits. So all you got to do is just, charge it up. And this thing is 10 triggers. It's already 10 triggers for the Dualtron. Right, so it charges 2 seconds every time you do one of these things. And the shot glasses does 5 triggers of slow, 5 triggers of haste. So that's 10 triggers times 2, that's 20 seconds reduction. So this 30 seconds goes already down to like 10 seconds right away off of this one shot glass. And so basically this Dualtron it's popping off right away. Like right when this goes off, it triggers these things because this says whenever an adjacent thing slows or hastes. This is obviously a turbo. This is also a turbo robotic factory. That's kind of important. Turbo robotic factory, kind of important. Enchanting your robotic factory with one of the bugs. So basically, if I enchanted the robotic factory with fire, I could replace the fire bug with the robotic factory. If I replace the robotic factory with poison, if I enchanted it with poison, I could replace the poison bug and just slot this in there. And it functions basically as a bug to help reset the bugs and trigger the bugs. But basically, this Dualtron was going off really quick, and it was critting almost every time. It was doing like 8,000 damage the very first hit. People are basically dead, and yeah. Even if you have 30,000 HP, it really doesn't matter. I'm like perma-freezing you. I have like perma-haste, and yeah, I'm just smacking you so hard, so much shielding. Anyway, this was a really good victory. But of course, I have so many more boards like that, right? Like, remember I told you I had a Chimera run? This is my Chimera run. Very, very, extremely fast. This build is extremely fast. This goes off at the start of the fight, slows 4 things. When I slow 4 things, it charges this Firefly 4 seconds. This Firefly only had about a 5-second cooldown because I was able to get some cooldown reduction somewhere. Maybe through Curio. Curio gives you the feathers and the wings, and also some monster fights can give you some cooldown reduction. So I believe this had a 5-second cooldown. The Chimera charged it up 4 seconds. This actually might have had a 4-second cooldown. I believe it went off right away somehow. So anyway, Chimera charges this. This goes off right away, which makes everything else go off, essentially. So basically, we're going infinite right away at the start of combat because of this Chimera. And then, obviously, the Chimera is a Vanessa item, by the way. It's not a Dooley item, so you do have to try to find this somewhere else. It's pretty good, though, if you can find it. It is pretty good. And I also... You had to cook a little bit. I enchanted the Firefly with Toxic so that it would trigger this middle one a little bit more. Like, there's a couple little tricks like this. I also did Fiery Dualtron. Like, I don't really know why I did these things exactly, but it ended up just being the best choice at the time. Like, I believe this was already enchanted. These things were already enchanted, and this was, like, one of the last things I did was the Fiery Dualtron, which is okay. It's definitely not bad. It's basically as good as crit or anything like that. Like, it's really good for damage. 200 burn is really sweet. I don't think the skills really matter here too much. Basically none of these matter. Maybe this diamond one was kind of actually this overheal haste skill is actually really strong, and I think I got that pretty early on. Overheal haste, you can get this from the monster on day 1. You can get this from the banana ball, overheal haste, gold skill. The first time you overheal, each fight, haste your items for 2 seconds. So I actually think that was pretty key to me winning this game, is getting this overheal haste skill. It kind of allows you to run First Aiden, and I replaced First Aiden with like a healing robotic factory eventually, but I believe it still works. Whenever one of my friends goes off, I heal 45, and if I overheal, I haste my whole board by 2 seconds, which ends up just being a lot of triggers for the Dualtron. If I haste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, again, that's like 10 seconds of the 30 seconds that's coming off, because it's 2 seconds per charge. So anyways, this is another really good build. You can only have 4 bugs if you have 2 large items, right? You can only have 4 bugs, but again, you can kind of get away with it if you replace one bug, or if you enchant a bug a certain way or whatever. Like, you don't really need all the bugs. Also, the overheal haste skill allowed me to replace the haste bug. I don't really need the haste bug because I had the overheal haste, and I was overhealing every time because I was going so fast, because Chimera was going so fast and then triggering everything to go so fast. So I was always getting it. And so like, this was a very, very, very strong build. I beat many opposing Dualtrons with this build. Like, this build is stronger than most Dualtron robot factory builds. It's a very strong one. Okay, here's another one. This one is a DJ Robot drill setup with metronome, and I got a couple very lucky skills here with Big Ego, which gives my weapon lifesteal and knife trick. So every time a weapon goes off, you reduce its cooldown by like, I don't know, 10% or something. And then also Warm Hugs. Warm Hugs is the friend skill. Whenever a friend goes off, it burns like 2. And the drill obviously says whenever you burn, freeze, haste, slow, whatever, you charge itself 2 seconds. And so the fact that it had poison and was next to a metronome meant that every time the drill goes off, it automatically charges itself 4 seconds, basically 2 times, 2 seconds each trigger. It hastes off the metronome, poisons off itself, and we're hasting up this DJ Robot. DJ Robot provides a lot of haste triggers, right? It goes hasting all your friends. So I believe it hastes itself too, maybe not. But it hastes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things minimum every time that goes off. And then this is freezing 4 things. This is poisoning 1 thing. This is slowing 3 things. And this is hasting 3 things or 4 things as well. So just so many triggers for this drill. This drill was basically our carry here. We were able to give it lifesteal. And we got the Warm Hugs. Maybe a little bit of crit chance. And that's about it. This is a very standard drill setup. You just get all the bugs, get the drill, enchant the drill with something, and then get a metronome. That's kind of the build. I don't know. It's not that complicated, but we did have some very lucky skills that pushed this to 10 wins. Otherwise, we might have stopped at 8 or 9 or something, because there were some tough fights. Definitely some tough fights. Here's another interesting build. Obviously, if you look at the skills, we have Fiery Rebirth and like whenever this is the slow charge one. So, and the friend skill, whenever we use a friend, our items gain damage. So like, these are also very good. And we had large, you do kind of want to fight some of these monsters, right? So like, if I'm telling you who to fight, there are definitely some interesting ones to fight. So like, obviously you definitely want to try to get rigged. Rigged is one of the best skills in the game, right? So you want to try to fight on day 3 the eccentric aetherite if you can get it. Extremely strong. Street Gamer, also not bad. Whenever you use a small item, heal 5. That can be actually pretty strong too. So there are some interesting ones. Snowstorm, whenever you freeze, your weapons gain 2 damage for the fight. That's also not too bad, right? Like, there's some interesting monster choices here for sure. Yeah, I typically just go for the strong ones for the XP every time I can. Mod Squad, extremely good for getting Bulldozer or Beautiful Friendship skill. So if you see Mod Squad, you probably want to take that fight right there. Also, Sabretooth, really good fight to take. Diamond Fangs, super good skill for the bugs. If you can get Diamond Bugs with 30% less cooldown, and then this is also Bronze. This is a Bronze skill. So if you can upgrade this skill to Silver, Gold, Diamond, this 30% just goes to 40, 50, 60%, I think. It just goes up and up and up. So this is an insanely good fight, the Sabretooth on day 5. Where else can you find the Sabretooth? I feel like you can find him on day 6 or 7 too, no? No, maybe he's just day 5. Just day 5 Sabretooth. So yeah, you want to try to fight the Sabretooth maybe. Day 6, you want to try to fight maybe the Zookeeper. Toxic Friendship is pretty good whenever you use a friend poison 1. It's not too bad, plus it has like some friends and some stuff you can sell, like, trained spider, salamander, pup. They kind of help your build a little bit. Infernal, obviously pretty good. When you burn, your items gain a crit chance. That's not too bad. I mean, Infernal has some good stuff overall. If you can beat these guys, you beat these guys. Exposing Toxins, also not too bad. When you poison, your items gain 2% crit chance for the fight. So, like, these are all pretty good. Probably wouldn't fight the Lich. Probably wouldn't try to fight the Lich here. For day 7, I mean, Viper Tyrant's okay. When you poison, gain regen. I mean, there's so many good skills to get, but I don't really like any of his weapons here. The Thug is obviously really good for Bonk. Man, some of these skills you can get are just insane. Radiant Corsair for the Fiery Rebirth, obviously. So many interesting monsters to try to take out. I don't think we really want to fight Joyful Jack. When you heal, charge a poison item. Right, so healing is now lifesteal. So if you wanted to do lifesteal, maybe that would work. Cosmic Rock is obviously really good for these feathers. These feathers are some of the best loot items in the game. They're so insanely strong for the bug build. Extremely, extremely strong. Keen Eye, also good. Items have 12% crit. That's also pretty good. Treasure Turtle, though, just gives you shit tons of treasure, so this is obviously really good, too. Hunker Down, not bad. Toughness doesn't really matter for us. It could matter, I guess, if we have Dualtron. But yeah, so these are some of the items these are some of the monsters that I try to go for. Obviously, Cosmic Rock, not bad. Car Conductor is actually really good for Command Ship. So Bulldozer is a vehicle. So if you have Bulldozer, you might want to consider going with Command Ship to reduce your non-vehicle items cooldowns by 15%. So that would reduce all your bugs cooldowns by 15%, your drills cooldown by 15% if you have a drill, whatever else you have. So this is a good one to go for. This is the Car Conductor. But if you want to fight one of these stronger guys, I mean, they're all really good. Dr. Vortex, really good for Neophiliac. I think they nerfed that slightly. Draconic Rage is really strong. When you use a medium item, one of your burn items gain 10 burn. So this is really good if you have the drill. There's so many strong monster fights here. Thick Hide, when you slow charge an item a second, that's really good. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it there. Burninator Bot, I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't go to Burninator Bot too much. But yeah, these other guys are really exciting. Wandering Shoal, Dr. Vortex, Dragon, really exciting. Car Conductor, pretty exciting. I'm not really interested for, like, these guys too much. These guys don't really have any good skills, the Infernal Frigate or the Oasis, for the builds I'm going with. Day 9, this is where you can find the Big Ego. Your weapons have a lifesteal. That's not bad for sure. Big Ego is very strong. Yurdan, Relax Bro, when you slow, gain 2 regen for the fight. I actually didn't know that this was a skill. That's a really good skill. And if we go up here, I usually try to fight just anybody up here for the XP, but they don't really have anything good for me, I don't think. Exposing Toxin's pretty good. When you poison, your items gain 2% crit. Once again, that's not too bad. And the Death Knight, I mean, Death Knight, I guess, for Deadly Eye, maybe, but Desperate Cleanse, maybe, too. Sapphire, that's where you get the Sapphire, if you really want the Sapphire, I guess, from the Death Knight. So, like, it's definitely worth it to go over some of these guys and figure it out, but, and then day 10 plus is all the same. So after day 10 plus, you're only going to see these guys, which, by the way, Property Baron's actually pretty good for us. This is where you get big numbers. Your large items have plus 50% crit chance. This is really key to us winning a lot of fights. And a lot of the times, I will not choose one of these stronger guys. I will always pick Property Baron, because a lot of the times I have either Bulldozer or Dualtron, and those are large items that need to crit to win, or like they need to kill your opponent like with large amounts of damage. So I think these are really good. Big numbers, really good. They also don't have that many items. So what are the odds we get it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only like 7 things here. So the odds of you getting big numbers are pretty high. 1 in 7. As far as the other people, I don't really, I mean, Veteran Octopus is like okay for the hyper focus, but it's very low chance of getting it because they have so many tiny cutlass and stuff like that. I mean, maybe the Octopus could be all right because it is a friend, but yeah, anyways, I wouldn't really focus on too many of these other people. Lord Arkan's usually pretty easy, and Unwavering is usually pretty good here. So that's usually a good thing to get, is Unwavering. Awakened District, I believe, says something. Yeah, Trickle Down Economics is like okay. It's not great, though. I wouldn't really focus on many of these people. When you freeze, your items gain 3% crit for the fight, but this guy's really tough to defeat. The Volcus Enforcer's like too tough. I wouldn't recommend fighting them. Same with the Frost Street Champion. I wouldn't really recommend fighting these people. They're kind of risky, although if you want to get the Snowflake, that is a good place to find it. And the Sapphire at the Frost Street Champion. He's just a little bit difficult because of this Nitrogen Hammer is really strong. And the skills that they have are just really strong against our bug build. At the start of each fight, freeze all non-weapon items for 2 seconds. And then that triggers this a bajillion times. It's just a lot. So I usually lose to these guys. And like Void Golem, I sometimes lose to Caltrops. And Void Colossus, you could probably beat. But yeah, for the most part, I like Property Baron a lot. Trash Titan is also really good. I should mention Trash Titan for the Juggler skill. Juggler is incredibly good with Dualtron, with Bulldozer, with either of those two. But it's not good if you're running just the drill with like Robotic Factory, something like that. So like this is good for a lot of builds, but not all of them. Juggler is incredibly useful. So like day 10 plus, there's a lot of really good skills you can get. I don't think I fuck with this guy at all. And Boss Hero, sometimes I fuck with if I have only weapons for stuff like this. But it's not really my preferred place to go for Dooley. And, yeah, same with this guy. Like, we're not really interested. It's mostly Property Baron, Trash Titan, if I'm being honest. These are, like, the two main ones. And then if you go late game, you can just fight Lord Arkan and some other people for the XP. But, yeah, those are the monsters. Let's keep going over some of my builds. I'm getting a little distracted. I'm all over the place, but fiber optics is a really good thing, and same with the battery. Sometimes I just want to have my builds go off fast for the cooldown reduction. So battery is a pretty quick charge. It's like 4 seconds, and it's already doing its thing. It's already charging this Blue Beetle. So the Blue Beetle is not only going to be resetting itself whenever an adjacent item freezes or poisons, but it's also going to be charging off of this battery. So this is really going to be doing perma-haste, or perma-freeze, but also on top of perma-freeze, it just helps to get the build started, because I believe the battery was faster than any of the bugs in this case. So the battery just helps to get the build started after 4 seconds instead of after 5 or something like that. And then this fiber optic says whenever you use your leftmost item, you charge your rightmost item 1 second. At gold, 2 seconds at diamond. So my Bulldozer, it's a little slow. It's like a 6-second cooldown, and it's got obsidian as well. So every time we use a friend, it's gaining the double bonus damage, and also the double bonus damage from our perfect friendship, beautiful friendship skill. Whenever we use a friend, our weapons gain 3 or 6 damage or something. So this thing was getting to absolutely huge, absurd numbers, and it was getting charged up by the fiber optics. So this is a pretty good one here. I decided to flip the board around. You can flip your board around. Usually the freeze bug is on the left and the haste bug is on the right, but you can flip it around. It still works. I just wanted to flip it around because I wanted the battery on the freeze beetle specifically. I didn't want to, just for more freezes, basically. Yeah, for more freezes. So we have like many more builds to talk about. This one I ended up using First Aiden and Charcoal. First Aiden is only here because we have the Overheal Haste skill, which is really strong. And Charcoal ended up being really good for carrying us, I feel. Whenever you use a friend, it gains like 4 burn. And it just got to like 200 burn really quickly, and then I was burning them for like hundreds. So Charcoal, really good little guy there. Of course, we have Diamond Bulldozer for the cooldown reduction for all our friends, and once the friends go off, they kind of just reset. And obviously once First Aiden goes off, which is a really quick cooldown. It's only like 4 seconds, but minus 30% of 4 seconds. It was probably like 2.8 seconds or something, and then we're healing, which overheals us, which hastes the whole board, which ends up going crazy. And then of course Charcoal kind of finishes it off with Bulldozer as they grow throughout the game. So here's another one. So this one is only a 2-bug build. This one's pretty interesting. But the reason why this one works so well is because we have, well, rigged. The skill rigged is just rigged. We have the Poison Drill, which is charging both of the bugs. So whenever an adjacent item poisons, this charges. Whenever an adjacent item poisons or burns, this one charges. So yeah, but by putting this in the middle, we charge both bugs every time this goes off. And also we have this skill here. Remember I was talking to you about the Zookeeper? He has the whenever you use a friend, poison 1. So that just helps to reset the drill even more. So whenever we use our friends, we're going to be multicasting. So we're going to be like freezing 4 things times 2. That's like freezing 8 things plus 2 poison triggers. So that's like 10 triggers of stuff for the drill. So the drill was absolutely going infinite here, and it was going off really fast because of the rigged. The rigged helped everything go off really fast, plus the bulldozer for the cooldown reduction. Everything was going off extremely quickly here, and we have a little bit of crit chance with the static thing. This one says whenever you haste. Actually, I don't even think we have any haste other than the rigged, so this one wasn't that good. We have big numbers though. Big numbers gives our big guy crit chance, so I suppose that's pretty good too. But honestly, the skills don't really matter here that much, other than maybe the rigged. The rigged is like the best skill here by far. Everything else is like just okay, but the build is really good here. Enchanting this with Toxic was huge, and then figuring out that the double cast here and everything kind of works is pretty fun. So, yeah, I have so many more builds to show you. What I would highlight on this one is that I take a lot of the freeze skills. So this is quick freeze. When the first time you haste, freeze an item for like 4 seconds. That's insane. Freezing for 4 seconds is insane. And then I have the same thing here. When the first time you slow, freeze an item for like 3 seconds. And then the rigged, again, rigged is hasting right away, which freezes something right away. It's just so fun. And then in this one we tried charcoal again. Charcoal is really strong, and we have the fiber optics and the robotic factory on the very left, which they don't trigger the fiber optics. This guy is the far left because these ones don't have cooldowns. So it's like the farthest left item that you use with a cooldown will charge this guy up, the far right side. So every time this poison guy was going off, we were charging up charcoal, and charcoal was getting really big, and it had multicast. So yeah, we were burning a lot with this build. It's kind of weird, but this is like a charcoal carry with lots of healing from the robotic factory, lots of healing from the firefly, good amounts of poison. Or sorry, this guy here, it was enchanted with slow. So it was freezing and slowing, which means it was double charging this poison thing. So I don't know, I kind of switched these around, but the order of these is all swapped around, but I think that was actually okay. So here's another Dooley build that's not friends. This is like one shot build with shield slam. So we have the defense grid skill, which is incredibly important. So the first time you use an item, shield equal to like 10% of your max health or something like that. So that's incredibly like useful. So as soon as this force field goes off, we gain a bunch of shield equal to about 10% of our health, so maybe 700 shield, and then we hit them for about 700. But it has a bunch of crit chance from this thing. This gives our shield items crit chance. So instead of doing 700, maybe it did 1400. But it also has a bunch of poison on it, and also we have other ways of gaining shield, like this gains shield, and maybe this actually does 20% or something like that. And so anyways, we were basically one-shotting with this build. I don't know exactly how it works, but this is key to give your shield items crit. This was kind of key for the cooldown reduction, but that's not really key. And then this one was pretty, I don't know. I'm trying to make this build work. It kind of worked. I feel like I got a little lucky, though. The last fight was really close. I remember it. It was really close. They ended up, like, poisoning to death after I hit him, like, 2 or 3 times with this. But yeah, this is also another build you can go for. Had a radiant battery, so it was just charging this up a bunch, and then yeah. Here's another build. We got Bulldozer Robotic Factory once again, but this time I chose to do Poisonous Robotic Factory surrounded by these things. So it's kind of like what I did here with the freeze and the slow bugs around the poison thing. But this one was the freeze and the slow bugs around the poison robotic factory, and then I chose to do the Z shields because the Z shields actually, adjacent items have their cooldowns reduced by 20%. So 20% cooldown reduction for the bug, plus Bulldozer, which is another 30% cooldown reduction from the bug. So this is like basically 50% cooldown reduction. I believe this should have, instead of 6 seconds, it should have around a 3-second cooldown. And once this goes off, it also poisons, which triggers this to go off, which also, you know, basically it's just infinite freeze and slow. Infinite freeze, slow, and poison with a huge Bulldozer to close it off at the end. So yeah, that's that build. Pretty simple. Here's another build where, again, I enchanted the Robotic Factory with Turbo and replaced my Haste bug with a Turbo Robotic Factory. You can do that. That's fine. This is a standard build. I love my Bulldozer for the cooldown reduction for the bugs, and I love the multicast for all of our friends. It's just so good. But on top of that, we had Juggler Skill. Remember how I was saying how Juggler Skill really good? Whenever you use a small item, charge a large item 1 second. Insane! Yeah, just insane, because we use these small items 2 times each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's charging this 8 seconds. It only has a 6-second cooldown, so each rotation, this is already going off so many times, and it's getting stronger. So, yeah, Juggler is just an insane skill. Here's where we had Command Ship, and we had Warm Hugs. So we had a lot of good skills here. Command Ship gives our vehicles, if we have a vehicle, it gives our non-vehicles cooldown reduction. So Bulldozer's giving all of this cooldown reduction, plus the Command Ship's giving this cooldown reduction. So our bugs were extremely fast here. And then we had a Fiery Drill, which was also next to a Metronome. So that was triggering itself twice. But then also we had Warm Hugs. So every time we use a friend, we're burning. So there's just tons of triggers for the drill to go off. And so the drill was just going infinite. And it was a very, very quick build because of the Command Ship. So I could keep going. I could honestly keep going. How many more screenshots do I even have? I don't know. I could keep going. I could literally just keep going. I could literally just, like, it literally doesn't stop. Okay, it stops eventually, and then I go back to Mac. But you know what I mean? Like, I'll just, like, scroll through quickly and, like, just show you some of these builds. And, like, you know, you can kind of understand why I ended up picking these builds. Like, each one is similar but different depending on what I get given and what skills I have. Like this one, I have First Aid in the build because of the Overheal Haste. It's just so strong at getting things going. And I ended up getting, obviously, the Dragon skill, which ended up being so stupid. Every time you use a medium item, something gains like 10 burn. It's just ridiculous. I use the drill a lot. I get the Juggler skill here, and I didn't have any use for it. Sometimes that happens. You know, that's okay. Here we got a Fiery Rebirth Command Ship. Just insane skills here. Very, 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 very cool. Yeah, here I replaced the Poison Mantis dude with just a Poison Enchant Robotic Factory, so that's how you're able to fit that in. DJ Robot's really good for Dualtron as well, just lots of haste triggers, getting everything going. Here's another one, it's just Drill and Bill. Drill and Bill. And then here's one with the Z Sword, which is kind of cool, and an Obsidian Dualtron. I mean, this is pretty fun as well. This is just here for the cooldown reduction to get the party started because we don't have Bulldozer. We also have Tiny Dancer here. So Tiny Dancer is another good skill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you have at least 7 items, reduce everything's cooldown by like 15%. So, and then this does 20%. So we had like 35% cooldown reduction on this like bug. And once this bug goes off, it charges this bug, which charges this bug, which charges this bug, which charges this bug. So everything just goes off and goes infinite after one thing has the cooldown reduction. So we just have to give one thing cooldown reduction. You know what I mean? Yeah, we just have so many interesting builds. Oh, we had a Dragon Heart build. That was pretty fun. So the drill plus Dragon Heart, every time you burn, you charge this, and then whenever this goes off, you double the burn of an item for the fight. So the fact that we had two burn items was kind of unfortunate. It would be better if we just had one burn item to keep doubling it, but it was still very strong to double 2 things up. This one we had a shiny Bulldozer, so a triple Bulldozer on this one. That was interesting. This one we had Restorative Drill. Sure, why not? Can't kill us. You have to kill us twice with the Fire Rebirth plus this. It's just like really, really good stuff here. Really good stuff here all around. So yeah, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys know how to climb. It's basically like do the same thing, but refine it and kind of understand like how to make it work and the variations of the build so that it's not always exactly the same. Sometimes it's a little bit different, you know? But yeah, that's going to be the video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you like, subscribe, and that's Megaluke out. Peace!